Hi, my name's Dan Evans, and in this Chalk Talk, we'll be sharing some ideas about listening and how to become an active listener, a key skill in managing in the matrix. To get an idea of the importance of active listening, consider any visit you have to a doctor. Before the 1980s, research showed that doctors would interrupt their patient literally within the first 18 seconds of the visit to the doctor's office. So the patient would start talking, and immediately the doctor would interrupt between 18 and 20 seconds. This was a very biomedical approach where the doctor was more concerned about your well-being, physical well-being. And what we saw was a movement towards what's called a biopsychosocial model after the 1980s, where doctors would consider more than just your biological numbers and statistics and well-being. So in the 80s, we had this doctor knows best approach where the patient really wasn't listened to. And again, the results were surprising because what happened was, people wouldn't be involved in putting into place the correct solution with the doctor, and so they weren't on board. Now doctors use a biopsychosocial model that looks at the social and the psychological dimensions. Patients are more involved in the process, and thus they're more involved in the correct application of the treatment. And so we see a higher response rate, a higher success rate. This is what's called patient-centered interviewing for doctors. Effective patient-centered interviewing required that doctors develop new skills. These skills included, for example, nonverbal listening, if you will, or nonverbal communication, where people would lean in and have an open posture and face the patient and basically maintain eye contact. Echoing of what was being done, where you show that you are listening. Paraphrasing, where the doctor would take what the patient was saying and put it into simpler, shorter phrases, showing that they understood. Questioning, open and closed-end questioning, used to clarify but also to expand on understanding, and also then obviously exhibiting empathy with the patient. These skills are nothing more than what are skills required for active listening. So let's take a look at what active listening is all about. Active listening can be broken down into a series of core elements, pretty basic elements. And let's take a quick look at what these three core elements are of active listening. The first element is simply comprehending the words and the phrases that are being said. This means that you need to make sure there's no distractions or annoying sounds around you, and that you hear the words and the breaks and the pauses and the words that are being spoken. Foreigners have a problem here when you're in a foreign language, literally picking out the different words and the emphasis being placed on the different words by the speaker. So make sure that you have no distractions, no random noises around you when you're listening to somebody. The second component is retention. What we retain, we put into memory, and then we use it to make meaning on what is being said. So we have to make sure we retain the right amount of words. So you can't be tired when you're listening effectively. And you also have to go in with a very neutral point of view, because we want to make sure that we understand the importance being placed on words of the speaker and not placing our own importance on certain words. Lastly, we have to look at responding. We have to show that we are listening. This is usually done in a nonverbal way by leaning forward, again, by giving eye contact. You can give a verbal response, but then you're changing from the listener to the speaker, obviously. So as you're listening for the feeling, you're looking at the people, you're trying to understand what they're trying to say. We often will use questioning as a way to both expand on our understanding of what the person is trying to say and also confirm. Open questions are used to invite expansion, basically tell the person, tell me more. So for example, if you ask somebody, well, why do you believe you deserve a higher salary? They'll give you some more information. And closed type questioning allows us to confirm some very simple information we've received. So for example, I could say, if I understand, you are not happy with your current salary. And we're looking for a simple yes/no answer. These two types of questions serve different purposes and should be used throughout active listening process. So now that we have some of the basics down of what is active listening, let's try to come up with a very simple model that we can easily remember when we're in a situation where we need to be active listeners. And the model that I find to be very simple to remember is the model LEAPS. So let's take it apart. L of LEAPS stands for listen. We want to listen with intent. We don't want to interrupt. We want to listen in a neutral state of mind, not interrupting the person we're dealing with. The E stands for empathy, or empathizing with the person. Again, confirm you understand. Make sure you express and understand the feelings that the person is trying to communicate to you. So you're receiving more than just words. The A is for ask, asking questions to both get information, for example, in open questioning, but also to clarify information, maybe with closed type questioning. The P for paraphrasing. So paraphrasing is again, simplifying what's been said. It's not just repeating what's said, but putting it in your words a little bit more, simplifying it, what has been said, showing that you actually understand the meaning. And S stands for summarizing, restating the entire situation, clarifying the problem, the feelings involved. So 5 basic things to do when you're active listening. Again, L, listen, really listen to what's being said with an open mind. E, empathize. Make sure that you understand and the person understands that you're trying to get involved with the feelings and you're not making judgment. Ask questions to open the person up, but also to clarify things for you. Paraphrase, and then summarize what was said during the session. So a very simple model to be an effective active listener. So there are some of the basic points of active listening. I hope you've enjoyed this very short video, and I look forward to sharing some other information with you about being an effective manager in the matrix on future short videos. Have a nice day and take care. Bye.